Okay, hello everyone. In this video, we are going to continue with from where we stopped in the previous video on equation of motions, that's motion under gravity. I remain your tutor, Mr. Life Changer. So we are going to continue here with vertical projection. I want to give you a brief overview before we continue. Just like we stated in the last video, that the equations of motion for a vertical projection upward projection is we have v equal to u minus gt, we have v squared equal to u squared minus 2gs, then we have s equal to ut minus half gt squared. Okay, so these are the equations of motions for upward. Once it is an upward motion, acceleration due to gravity has a negative sign because upward motion is going against gravity. Okay, but when it is a downward motion, it is a positive sign. Please not forget that. So let's go ahead and read this. And what you should know about upward motion is that the velocity at the maximum height is always zero. Velocity at maximum height, that means the highest velocity when it gets to the maximum height is no longer moving. V is equal to 0. Okay, so let's see. Now a ball, number 17, a ball is thrown vertically upwards with an initial velocity of 30 meters per second. What is the maximum height reached? Okay, so in this case now, to calculate the maximum height reached, the best formula to use here is this, the second one here, because your v is the final velocity, which is 0 at the maximum height. At maximum height, final velocity is 0. U is the initial velocity, which is 30 meters per second. That's the initial velocity. Then g is acceleration due to gravity, and we are looking for the maximum height. So you can just say that v squared is equal to u squared minus 2gs. Now v is 30, 0. Velocity at the maximum height is 0, equal to u squared. Your u is 30 here, the initial velocity, so we can just say 30. Then it is squared, then minus 2 times your g is 10, and s. So if we are to continue with this, this is 0 equals 900 minus 20s. Then that means 20s is equal to 900. So s is equal to 900 divided by 20. That's going to be 45 meters. So 45 meters is the answer. Okay, but I like to say this here. For me, for exam purposes, I simply just use that distance is u squared over 2g. It has factored the fact that the final velocity at the maximum height is 0. So I can just say 30 squared over 2 times 10. And that would give me 45 meters. Okay, interesting. Now the next one says a stone is projected vertically upwards at 20 meters per second. How long does it take to return to its starting point? A stone is projected vertically upwards at 20 meters per second. How long does it take to return to its starting point? Okay, now that's the time. First of all, the initial velocity u is 20 meters per second, and for it to return to that means it went up to the highest point. Then once it got to the highest point, it started coming down. You see that? So I need you to note that. So the velocity to get to the maximum height is 0 meters per second, because it is an upward motion. So since we are looking for time, we can use the formula v is equal to u minus gt. Okay, so your v is 0, equal to your u is 20 minus your g is 10, then t is what we want to find. So if this crosses the equal sign, we are going to have 10t is equal to 20. Okay, that means t is going to be 20 divided by 10, which is going to be equal to 2 seconds. So this is 2 seconds. Okay, so now, but that is not the answer. I know some of you might be in a hurry to pick this. The question says, how long does it take to return to its starting point? Now, it takes 2 seconds to get to its maximum height. It will take the same 2 seconds to return to the starting point. So the total time it takes is 2 plus 2, which is 4 seconds. So the answer to this question is 4. So this is very important for us to note. Okay. Now the next one says a ball is thrown upward with a velocity of u. The time to reach the maximum height is, now this is quite easy. To find the time, you know that v is equal to u minus gt for an upward motion. This one has both initial velocity, final velocity, and all of that. So the final velocity to reach the maximum height is always 0. I told you that. Is equal to your u minus gt. If this crosses the equal sign, or you add both sides, you're going to get gt equals to u. And so to find the time over g, so that means your t is simply u over g. You can always use this to solve questions. So your time is simply u over g. So C is the answer to that question. Quite easy, right? Now the next one says a ball is thrown vertically upward with a speed of 20 meters per second. So the speed, which is the initial velocity, is 25 meters per second. How long does it take to reach its highest point? At this highest point, the final velocity is 0, and we are looking for time. So the best formula, we say v equal to u minus gt. Your v is 0 and your u is 25, then minus 10t. So this crosses over. We have 10t is equal to 25. So t will be 25 over 10, which is equal to 2.5 seconds. So the answer is C. Or you can just simply say that t is equal to u over g. Makes life easy. 25 over 10, which is 2.5 seconds. So whichever way you go about it is fine. It's still the same thing, but just that one of them is faster. Now this one says an object is thrown vertically upwards with an initial speed u. When it returns to its point of projection, ignoring air resistance, its speed is, okay, I like to say this, that when you throw an object with a particular speed and it gets to the maximum height, as it's going up, the speed reduces. As it keeps going, the speed reduces. But once it gets to the maximum height, it becomes 0. Then it starts coming down, the speed keeps increasing until it gets to the ground. Now let me say this. The speed with which you use to shoot it up is the same speed it will use to hit the ground. So the answer is D, equal to U. You can use calculations to confirm that. Yes. So please note that the speed with which it used to go up is the same speed it will use to hit the ground. Now the next one says a ball is thrown vertically upward. It takes 3 seconds to reach the maximum height. What was the initial velocity of the ball? Very easy. We use v equals u minus gt. Our v is 0 at maximum height. Since that's what we are interested in, maximum height, our u is that's what we are looking for, initial velocity. Then minus g is 10. Then t, the time is 3 seconds. So 0 is equal to u minus 30. So u is going to be equal to 30 meters per second. Quite easy. So the answer to this is B. Now the next one says a stone is thrown upwards at 15 meters per second. That's the initial velocity. So u is 15 meters per second. At what time is it at a height of 10 meters above the point of projection? So that means the height is around 10 meters. And we want to know the time it takes to get to this height. They didn't say maximum height. Please note. The statement here is not maximum height. So you take note. So that means this formula does not come to play. This will be wrong here. And this formula also does not come to play. Sorry, minus 2gs does not come to play. The reason why both formulas does not come to play because we don't know the final velocities. The final velocity is only 0 at the maximum height. But here it didn't mention the height is maximum. So it only says what is the time at that height. So the best formula to use here is saying S is equal to ut plus half gt squared. You see? That's what to use here. Okay? So if I substitute my values, S is 10. Your u, initial velocity based on the question, is 15. Okay, 15t plus half times, we are looking for time, so we left t. G is 10, then you have t squared. So this is 10 is equal to 15t plus half times 10 is 5, so we have 5t squared. This is looking like a quadratic equation already, science students, math students. So I can still write this as 5t squared plus 15t minus 10 equal to 0. I notice that by bringing 10 to the other side, I notice that 5 is common throughout, so I can divide through by 5. If we do that, this is going to be t squared plus 3t minus 2 equal to 0. This is a quadratic equation and we can only try to solve this. So we look for two numbers that can multiply to be minus 2, but when we add those two numbers, it's going to be plus 3. And I think those two numbers is t minus, oh no, this is not it at all. Okay, let's see, negative 2 times negative 1, no. 2 times 1, no. Okay, there is no number that can multiply to give 2 and can add to negative 2 and can add to give plus 3. I can't find any number like that. So that means we have to use the formula method, which is t is equal to you can say minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a, and the a is 1. You can see from this equation your a is 1, the coefficient of t squared, your b is 3, and your c is negative 2. So that means if I do that here, I'm going to have negative, your b is negative 3 plus or minus square root of b squared negative 3 squared minus 4ac, 4 times 1 times negative 2 all over 2a, 2 times 1. So that's going to be negative 3 plus or minus square root of, this is 9 plus 8 divided by 2, and that's going to be, let me write here, plus or minus 9 plus 8 is 17 divided by 2. 17 is approximately square root of 17 is approximately 4. So permit me to say plus or minus is supposed to be 4 point, about 4 point something. So let me use 4, okay? Or let's say 4.1 divided by 2. And so you are going to get 1.1 divided by 2, which is about 0.5. That is, you say negative 4 plus 4.1 divided by 2 and negative 3 minus 4.1 divided by 2. We are not going to work with this because it's going to give us a negative value, so we are going to work with this. Negative 3 plus 4.1 divided by 2 is 1.1 divided by 2, which is approximately 0.5 seconds. So I don't see any answer here. So that's what this is. This is quite tedious, right? Okay, the next one says a ball is thrown vertically upwards with velocity 40 meters per second. What is the velocity after 6 seconds? You see, so we want to know the velocity after 6 seconds, and we know the initial velocity already. And this is quite easy because we are going to say v is equal to u minus gt. This is the best formula to use. Since we know we are looking for the velocity, and we know the initial velocity, and we know the time, so v is going to be equal to your u here is 40 minus your g is 10 times the t is 6 seconds. So this is going to be 40 minus 6 times 10 is 60, and so that's going to be minus 20 meter per second. So it is negative minus 20 meter per second, and this is actually going down, not going up, because from 40 the initial velocity is 40, it keeps reducing. Upward motion, the velocity reduces until it gets to 0, then starts coming down. So yeah, negative 20 going down is the answer. Okay, so this will be the end for it here. Thank you very much. See you in my next video. We have just one more session to go, so do well to like, share, subscribe, follow whatever platform you are, and give us a thumbs up. Thank you very much. See you in our next class.